If you want to see me swatch the Infinity Deep palette by Linda Hallberg and see me compare it to the light, then stick around. Hi there, it's Hélène, and yes, we are going to swatch the Linda Hallberg Infinity Deep palette, and I'm just going to open up the box here and show you the palette. It is virtually the same size, same depth, everything as the original face and eye palette. But the difference is on the deep is that they did do a very colorful outward packaging for this palette, and I think that that is going to be the theme for Linda Hallberg going forward. There used to be just sleek black packaging, but I do think that colorful packaging, one, to differentiate between palettes, but also to just pique the curiosity and make you want to look at what's inside. I think that's not a bad idea. And of course, I mean, as I said, I like the fact that I won't have to wonder which palette is which when I am going to play around with them. So let me just open up the package now. It has the same kind of plastic on the inside, although the plastic this time around in this newer palette is very thin compared to a much thicker plastic on the original package. And you will definitely see which one is more beat up. So this is the original for me, and this is the deep. And this is the one we'll be primarily playing with today. But you will see that I have swatches of this one on my other arm because we will end up comparing the two. But for starters, let's focus on this palette. It is essentially the same as the original, which was for light medium, but with the thought of addressing the needs of a deeper skin tone population. I think that's fantastic. And it really has very much the same types of things. It has two highlighters, it has two blushes, and then it has what would be the last four, which are the more contour type colors. The only thing that is the same between the two is Fornax, which is the black that can be used to deepen up any of the colors in the rest of the palette. I want to do the same thing on the other arm, and I'm going to do the highlighters first, then going to the blushes and the contour as I am swatching them, and I'm going to be using 2 fingers for the swatching, index and middle finger, the same way as I did these swatches, and it's all very recent in my memory because I did these swatches not even a half hour ago. So let's get, and I don't think I messed any of them up. Nope, they look the same. So let's go basically vertical row by vertical row. So we'll do these two first and then get into the blushes. So Solar is the first one, and it's very, very much gold. And Polar Star, which is kind of a taupey color, taupey beige. So yeah, very nice colors. This is the first go at it. And so let's do the swatches here. Solar, that's pretty. What's the other one? Polar Star is next. Oh, that's a nice one. I think that one would be pretty universal. I think anyone could use that one, to be quite frank. And for anyone thinking of just a neutrals eyeshadow palette, I think that the deep, which I actually wanted to get the deep first, to be quite frank, because I automatically saw it as an eyeshadow palette. Quite a nice gold. Yeah, they're really pretty. Very, very pretty colors. Okay, I'm going to wipe off my fingers, and we're going to go to the blushes next. Well, and I say blushes, this is a face palette that you are to be able to use all over the face in whichever way you want. So I say blushes, but it's a misnomer. It's not supposed to be one purpose powders. So we have Quasar and Mars, so we'll do those two next. And Quasar is this beautiful rusty shimmer. Oh, and Mars it's a burgundy type color, so it's a bit gritty, which is not unusual. Look at that color. That is beautiful. Almost a duochrome quality to it. That's beautiful. I've been doing so much swatching that the skin on my fingers is just messed up, so my apologies. It looks kind of rough, but I've been a busy girl today. Yeah, Mars is a nice, very matte. This one is far more shimmery, but I can also see how you could mix them to make them exactly the way you want, or obviously mix them with the highlighter, one of the highlighters, something like that. I mean, you can mix and match anything, go back and forth between the pans. It's this type of palette is very versatile in that way. Okay, so Quasar. And Mars. As I'm looking at these swatches, I'm thinking of all sorts of eyeshadow looks. Just my default, my happy place. I am big on Quasar. That is a beautiful, beautiful shadow, powder, blush, whatever you want to call it. I think Linda would be very happy to hear that I want to use them in all sorts of ways. Anyway, we are going now into more of the 4 contour colors. So we'll do these two right here. And what do we have here? We have Light Year and Umbra. And Light Year is a nice kind of beige with a little bit of peach in it. And then Umbra is more of a typical contour color for deepening some features. Well, that's very light peach here. So more of a highlighting color for deeper skin tones. And there is the deeper contour here. It's not that deep really. The only thing is that I can see is it doesn't really have an ashy base, which would be important if you have more depth to your skin tone. Okay, and very finely milled these two, by the way. I'm being very, very light-handed as I pick up product. There we go. That built up really nicely, and boy, would that be a nice color for a number of us actually to set our eye primer. So if you've been thinking about it, light to medium skin tone, to use this palette as an eyeshadow, that would work nicely for that purpose for you. With that built up really easily, that's very cool. Pretty happy with those colors so far. And we have 2 more to go. The black Fornax and, what's the other one? Redshift. Kind of tells you where that's going. Okay, so we're going into Redshift and Fornax. And you might be wondering, if you are a person with a deeper skin tone, about some of the swatches that I showed you, you'd be going, that's too light for me. This fixes it all. And if you look at the light to medium palette, you need Fornax for some shadows because they're meant to be a starting point, and Fornax will help you get it to where you want it exactly. And you can see how Fornax is relatively light as a black because it's meant as a deepening powder. Let's do a second go at Redshift and Fornax. Fornax is so finely milled, it's crazy. Last pass on those two, and hopefully my swatches will align somewhat with the swatches I did of the light to medium palette. My swatches always get bigger as the arm I get to the bigger end of the arm, and there are the fingers. Okay, so we have all the swatches made or done. I completed the swatches on both arms, and I wanted to give you a swatches comparison between the light medium and medium deep palettes. So bring those sleeves up and let's do a comparison, and hopefully I can line them up. Oh, I did a good job. That's good. Okay, so here are the two highlighters. You can definitely see the richer tones in the medium deep palette. The two blushes, again, very, very different. And then we have the starting to get into the contour colors. So the two light contour colors, and then the two deeper contour colors. Right? I think we can get everything in screen. There you go. All of them, both palettes. So let's go one at a time. So I've got the light version here. I'll hold it this way. Nicely, this palette does fold back. So I'm just going to hold the palette next to the swatches on this one. Hopefully you can see everything. And then do the same on the other side. There you go. Hopefully all of it shows up on screen. So obviously, so far, because I've just received this one, if you want to see the unboxing video, I will put that link right here for you, just for ease of reference. I've done, I think, 4 Linda Hallberg videos so far in a series just recently with the latest order I have. But I have a ton of Linda Hallberg videos. All of them are in the description box. You can go take a look at. I've done a lot, so there's a lot to go through. I think you can tell that there's quite a bit of wear already on this one. I have taken this one traveling with me. I have used it a lot. If I'm not sure what I want to do and I don't want to dabble into a bunch of palettes, this is an easy one to pick up. I like the product. I like the quality. I like the formula she uses. I like the sleek nature of the palettes. They're not very big. They're not bulky for no reason. And there's quite a bit of product in it. If you think about it like an eyeshadow palette, there's a lot of product. If you think about it like a face palette, there's not as much. So each one of these pans is 3.5 grams. For a face palette, it's very reasonable. If you're going to use it primarily as an eyeshadow, it's a ton. It's sugar pill level product in all of these pans. So I'm happy with them. And if anything, I really kind of wanted the medium deep right off the hop, but I tried to be reasonable because for my channel I would be able to do more and use it more as intended, of all over the face, not just for the eyes. But now that I have both, I have 16 infinity shades to work with. So I'm just like a kid in a candy store and can't wait to do more looks with the OG that I had, light medium, and then of course the medium deep. So if you have any requests, questions, any different ways that you want me to use these palettes, please let me know. I would be very, very curious. And for that matter, any of the Linda Hallberg products that I've shown on this channel, either older or newer, whichever, just let me know what is of interest to you, and I will see if I can do a video or some sort of a theme on it. Other than that, I leave it to you to let me know what you think in the comments. I read them all. I appreciate every single one, and I do look forward to both hearing from you and seeing you in the next video. But for now, take care.